Hello again, everyone. This is Big Cat coming to you from my man cave, the basement. I also call it my armory. And just let you know, the reason why I'm always in a damn hoodie and a coat with my head covers and stuff is because it is fucking cold down here. I have a kerosene heater. I lent it out to my old lady's sister, and I haven't gone back and picked it up yet. So it's about 40 degrees down here. It's a little chilly. But anyway, so last night I posted up my video, and my buddy Gunny got to see it. Really liked it, and he requested some information on case prep, specifically tumbling. He wanted to see how the tumbling operation worked. So that is what I am going to show you folks today. Is case prep. It's the logical first step in reloading. You get your brass. If you pick it up from the range, you buy it from the range, you shoot it and pick it up, whatever. You might have some dirty brass that you need cleaned up. So that's what I am going to show right now. So stay tuned. Alright, and I did my first faux pas by having my phone flipped the wrong way when I did my selfie video versus when I'm going to do my actual video, so I don't know how that'll edit together. But anyway, this is a case tumbler. This is a small one, relatively cheap, about 60 bucks out at the store. I started doing this. I was doing it on the cheap. I had to save money where I can. And it is basically a big bowl that vibrates. You can see right inside there. And what you put inside there is media. This is corn cob. It's ground corn cob. And the reason why it looks green is because it has the polishing compound already in it. If you get this with no polishing compound, you can pick up a bottle of polish. It's like a paste or whatever that you put in there with your media, and that's what will polish up your brass. And then when you go to do your brass, you have to inspect it. You gotta inspect your brass. As soon as I can get the box open with one hand. There we go. Alright, this is some brass I fired at the range a couple weeks ago. So what you gotta do, dump it out. I'm not gonna dump it out right now because I don't have any more room in my polisher. Polisher holds right around 200 rounds, maybe a few more. But anyway, you inspect your brass. You need to look at it, make sure there's no cracks, make sure the primer isn't messed up. My phone's not focusing very well. I'm doing this with a Galaxy S5. But yeah, you want to make sure your primer's not flat. Now I know that these loads, I've been using these loads for a long time, and I've never had any overpressure issues with them. But you want to look for cracks and anything around the sides, which this ACP brass will last for damn near forever with the loads I use. I'm not full house in these. Alright, but anyway, you take them, you inspect your rounds, dump them in, which when you inspect them, you can actually grab a handful, a small handful, and shake them in your hand and listen to them, and you hear that jingle. If you got a case that's cracked, it's not going to ting like that. It's going to give more of a dull thud. And it's going to tell you got a cracked case in there to look for. And you can do this after you polish them too. You don't have to, you can go ahead and polish them and then inspect them, but I don't see the point in polishing bad brass. But anyway, and then you put your brass in the tumbler along with your media. And then normally I would put the cover on first, but I want to show you how this works and what this does. So I'm going to leave the cover off. Come down here to my power switch. Go ahead and turn it on. See what it does there? It just circulates the brass inside that media while it's vibrating. And it'll just go down the middle, and it'll vibrate itself back up the sides and then down through the middle again. And you let that run for about an hour or so. Well, a couple hours. I've let it run overnight before. One thing you do got to be careful of is to make sure that this is on a relatively good traction surface, because it vibrates, and something that vibrates can walk. And I'll tell you right now, if you're not in the room, and even if you are in the room, and this thing vibrates and walks itself right off of your bench, it's going to hit the ground vibrating, and it is going to destroy itself in a matter of seconds. It is just going to bust itself all to pieces, and it's not going to be any good. And but yeah, this is my gunsmithing workbench. I just don't have any other place to put my tumbler, so I keep it back there in the corner when I need it. But that is basically it for case prep. Once your cases are done, you got to sort them out of the media. They sell sifters, they sell squirrel cage sifters, and they sell trays for in 5-gallon buckets that you can dump into. I didn't have the money for any of that whenever I first started, so I went this route. This is basically from the Olive Garden. Well, we took home a salad in it, and I just took and drilled some holes in the bottom of it, and I just set it in there. I dump all my cases and stuff out into that, and then I just pick it up and I just shake it, and I shake it and sift out that media, and I shake it and I shake it some more, and it makes a hell of a mess. It's actually not a very good setup. I want to get one of those squirrel cage sifters. They want like 120 bucks for them. It's ridiculous how much they want for chunks of plastic, but I'm probably gonna wind up buying one just because. But anyway, that's basically all there is to your case prep. Okay, this was Big Cat. Keep it locked and loaded, keep it safe, keep it happy. You guys have a good day. Thank you. Okay, and one other thing that I wanted to get into is a little bit of organization, which I have to work on. I have a little bit of a problem with organization, but here's my bench, and I got these bins. These bins do come in handy for keeping bits and pieces, odds and ends and stuff. I got to go through here because I got a bunch of stuff right here. I got a bunch of bad bullets that I got to pull or kill the primer and throw out. And but you want to try and keep it clean. You want to keep it from getting all cluttered up. And then you need storage for your stuff. You're going to be getting into a lot of stuff whenever you start doing this. And I have this cabinet, which I got all the doors open right now. I use that because it's what I had. There's my reloading books up there, which I found that spear manual I was looking for last night whenever I made my first video. But there, got all my die sets. I got a tool head for my RL550B. Those have my 357 or my 38 specials, which, as I said, I was doing my crimping and bullet seeding at the same time. That's why I don't have the separate crimper for this yet. I still got to buy it. And then this tool head here is for whenever I set up to do my 44 Magnums. I haven't done any of those in the Dillon press yet. And then you come down here and there's powders. You're going to get a lot of powders. You're going to have to learn a lot about powder. I might cover some of it because you got, like, I got my Hodgdon H1000 for my 7mm Remington Magnum, and the 4895 is for the 7.62 by 54 Russian for the Mosin Nagant. Then my Bullseye, True Blue, and Tight Group are all pistol powders. They can work for the 38 Special or my 45 ACP. It's good to keep a couple different brands and do uploads for a couple different brands, just because the way the powder situation has been, if all you use is Bullseye, you might go out to your local supply store and they don't have Bullseye. It's not in stock. Maybe all you can get is True Blue or Tight Group. So it's best to be able to use a couple different powders because you might not be able to get what you need. And then my 2400 is for the 44 Magnum. And the differences between these powders is like the two rifle powders over here and then the 44 Magnum powder are high pressure powders for high pressure rounds, and they're called a slow burning powder. They burn slower and you use a lot more of it, and it causes a lot more pressure. Whereas these three in the middle, the Tight Group, True Blue, and Bullseye, are called fast burning powders, and you don't use a whole lot of them. My 44 Magnum uses over 18 grains of the 2400, whereas my 38 Special uses, I think, 3.2 grains of True Blue. So there's a big difference there in your powders, so you gotta know about your powders. And then that down there is just some extra storage. And if I move over here... Okay, my girlfriend called right when I was in the middle of refilming that, so I had to do a little splice there. But, and then in my next part, these are all empty boxes. You know, you are going to buy factory ammunition sometime, and you should always keep factory boxes. Have some on hand for everything you reload, for the simple fact that should you go on a trip somewhere, on a plane, and you want to take your gun with you, and you can lock it up in a box and take it, you're going on a hunting trip or whatever, and you want to take your own ammo. They will not allow you to take ammo on a plane in one of these boxes. Even if it's labeled, they will not let you bring it on the plane. It has to be in a factory box, even if it's not factory ammunition. Even if it's an old worn out factory box like this, your ammo has to be in a factory box to go on a plane, or they won't let you take it. That's silly, I know, but... And then I moved down here, and these are storage boxes. I've been saving these up to put my lead bullets in when I cast them. These work okay, just don't drop them because the lids pop off easily. The best thing to use is empty plastic Mayo or Miracle Whip jars. Those work great. And then I got, like, this is my liquid A-LOX. This is what I'm currently using for bullet lube for my cast bullets. I'm going to be switching over to powder coating, which I might do a video on that. And then I get down here, and down there's some of my empty storage boxes for ammo. And there's my 2 buckets of 22 long rifle for my daughter's handgun and my stepson's AR, 22 long rifle AR. Which, when you can get two 1,400 round buckets of 22, you jump on it, because that stuff is hard to find anymore. Okay, and then moving back up here. Up here is where I keep my loaded ammunition, and some people are going to have a conniption fit because I got my primers right here as well. You know what? If my loaded ammunition or my primers go off, it's a bad situation regardless, so I don't see the issue. And I'm keeping my powder at the whole other end. And one thing you want to do with powder, you notice these doors got screens on them. They're not contained. You don't want to keep your powder in a enclosed metal box, like a gun safe or something like that, because if that stuff should ignite, it's a propellant and it's not an explosive. So what it does is it expands. It burns and it makes hot gas and expands. If you have something open like this, all it's going to happen is it's going to shoot hot gas out of there. No explosion's going to happen. If you have that in a sealed box, even if it's not airtight, if it's got a closed metal door, that gas will expand faster than it can leak out the cracks, and it will turn that box into a makeshift bomb and blow the sides out, could cause damage, could hurt someone. You're better off having your powder stored in something that's open or has a screen. That way, if it would catch, God forbid, the gases will just come out and it won't cause any bad problems, explosions, shrapnel, all that. But back to over here, there's my ammo, my primers, and over here's some loaded ammo. This is surplus ammo you can get for the Mosin Nagant, the 7.62x54R, which this stuff, I love my Mosin, and this stuff, you can get this military surplus, 440 rounds for like 98 bucks, 89 bucks, so you find it on sale. And this is full metal jacket, steel core, armor piercing ammo. It's Soviet military surplus. You can get some, I think they have like Czech military surplus, a couple other countries. But the only problem with this stuff, it's non-reloadable. It's Berdan primed, which I'll show you. It's not Boxer primed like what we use, and I'll show you the difference in that in one of the videos. But the other problem with this stuff is they use corrosive primers. And what that is, they have salts in these primers that are corrosive when they get mixed with moisture. So when I fire these out of my Mosin Nagant, when I'm done, I have to clean it. I have to neutralize those salts. Well, a little tip a buddy of mine taught me was Windex. Any kind of window cleaner that has vinegar in it. Vinegar neutralizes that salts. So when I'm done shooting, I just field strip it, spray down the bolt, spray down the action with some Windex, wipe it off. I'll run some Windex soaked patches down through the barrel, and that will neutralize all those corrosive salts and save my rifle, because if you don't do that, it is going to rust, and is going to rust quick. Like within a couple weeks, if that, it will just start rusting horribly and corroding. So there's that, and then down here there's some of my bullets. I'm actually running really low on my lead bullets. That's not all of them. I have some in a jar over here as well, but it's my these are my 38 specials that I cast. These can actually be used for 38 special, or oh, that lid's on tight, or 357 Magnum. And I'll show this in the casting vid, but I'll just show you now that that is my 38 special. It's 158 grain semi-wad cutter. I use a believe it's a Lee mold for that. And I'll show you how I make these guys. And then the bullet that I showed you yesterday, that's what these are. That's my 45 ACPs, and that's called a truncated cone. You can't run a semi-wad cutter in my XD because it'll hang up on the feed ramp. And then I also keep, these are some 44 Magnum jacketed hollow points, and I got some 38 357 jacketed hollow points for making some defense rounds. And then down here you see I got all my empty, well, not all my empty brass, but there's some empty brass storage there. 45 ACP, 38 special, 44 mag. That's my 7.62 by 54 Russian. And then down there's my storage box for my 7mm whenever I go out to the range and take my loads out there to test them. And that's basically a quick little intro into some storage and the kind of stuff that you're going to be getting into that you're going to have to find a place to put it all. And okay, I will wrap this video with that. I will see you guys later. Take her easy. Lock and load. Keep it on safe. Keep it happy. And I will leave you with our nasty little terrorist guy. Blew out his face with the Mosin. Blew out his chest with the 45 ACP. Good job.